Well, if you didn't enjoy that, I don't know. You're not a basketball fan, and want to give Michigan State just what a terrific team, what a terrific performance from them tonight. Really had a hard time, especially early, trying to keep them in front. And tried to, they forced us to make adjustments in the second half, which, kudos to our staff, but also our players have to execute those adjustments, especially the high ball screen. And then, our players, just their toughness that they showed, I thought, in the third, and then especially in the fourth, the big shots that were made. Thought Chloe was terrific with her first triple-double. I think that's of her career probably. But it took all of Mac's 28 points. It took all of them, to put 95 points on the board tonight against a really good team. Really thrilled that we were under 10 turnovers. And we were able to out-rebound them by 5. Those are always goals for us. High assists, 25 tonight. Did a lot of really good things, but as we know, there's also things that we got to continue to get better. I thought our gaps, especially in the second half, were the activity that we had to help each other. We were better. We got a little bit better as the game progressed, and it needed to be. Because you had two teams that, when I look at the percentages, like I said, I just can't imagine if you're watching this game tonight that you didn't, it was a thriller, back and forth, really, really good basketball, a lot of made shots. But really happy for my kids.
Teri, in a game like this where you're making most of your shots, but Michigan State's just simply answering, I guess, and you're playing behind for most of the game, I mean, what are you telling your team to let them understand that, hey, we're in this?
Well, we got to get stops. That's what we're telling them. The only way that yes, we're shooting well, and but I think we only got 2 stops in the first quarter. We dug ourselves a hole, and then certainly went into half down by 10. But knew we needed to be so much better defensively. And I also felt like, which I don't know if it was true or not, they would cool off a little bit. Julia didn't cool off, but, some of them, it didn't seem like we were giving up as many open shots as we did in the first half.
Teri, these are the sorts of teams over the last few years that have kind of given you guys a little bit of trouble, just these really athletic teams that can kind of speed you up on both ends and knock down shots like that. To go up against a team like that and actually win this game, just how big can that be going forward?
Well, I think it's huge, and again, we're still down a starter, people forget that Sid Parrish is still sitting over there, and she brings so much to us from a defensive perspective, from the way she is aggressive to the way she rebounds for us. She makes hustle plays for us, and so we're down a starter, but yet figure out a way to, especially in the second half, climb back into the game, regain the lead, and then have to make big plays down the stretch, and make big shots. Chloe and Sarah both, step up there and stick their free throws, which was we needed all of them. I think our kids, just the way that they fought back, I think it's something that they're going to be really proud of when they we come in tomorrow, and we watch all the good and some of the bad things we got to fix, but they need to be really proud of themselves, because that was like I said, that was a dogfight out there. So the effort was tremendous.
Are you able to kind of turn the tide in terms of the pace of the game and really get that a little bit more under control when it matters?
I don't know if we were or not. It's both teams were, their pace, and they're not very deep. So it's so impressed by their conditioning, because they although they don't play a lot of kids, they're in fantastic shape. Really put pressure on you in transition. If you don't sprint back, they're all the way to the rim. If you overhelp, they kick out and find the shooters. And so I don't know that we turned the tide in terms of slowing them down. I think in the half court, we got better. Our gaps were better. Our activity around the ball was better. We were helping each other. I think in the first half, especially, I just felt like we were so stuck to our man that we forgot that we still all have to, help each other guard the ball. And I thought that's where the improvements were made.
This is a bit of an encompassing question, but obviously her first triple-double. She's gotten better every single year she's been here. What has Chloe just meant to this program through the years and obviously now as a senior?
Well, again, she's a kid that they don't make kids like Chloe anymore, and by that I mean, and people have heard me say this before, kids that come in as freshmen and don't play. But they believe in the staff. They believe in the process. They watch the older kids that are ahead of them and how they work and how they've been developed. And she just knew it was a matter of time before it was going to be her turn. And a lot of those kids leave and they try to go somewhere else and find a starting spot or find more playing time, and Chloe was never one of those kids, and that's a tribute to her dad. I think that they believed in what we were doing and what we were asking her to do, and I feel like they watched her, we've all watched her improve, get stronger. I mean, her body has completely changed, from the day she walked in here to what she looks like now, her confidence, the way she leads our team. She is the heart and soul. I mean, she really got into her teammates tonight in timeouts, and she's done that on more than one occasions for us. And I love her leadership. I love her heart. I love how hard she plays, and her teammates respect her because of the process. They've watched her. They've watched her sit. They've watched her work, and they've watched her be committed. And so it's great to see. Great to see. Hopefully it's not our last one.
Yeah, too, Teri. In terms of halftime, Mackenzie said that you kind of opened it up to them, and I know you did that earlier year at team meeting. Is that something that's common for halftime, where you kind of let the players say, what do we need to do better defensively?
Yeah.
Or was that unique today?
Yeah, sorry, Mike. Yep.
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I think what we've been trying to do, Mike, is figure out our third quarters have been not very good. I think we can all agree with that. And so after the Ohio State game, I talked to them about right now the Achilles heel is our third quarter starts. And so what can we do to change that? How can we help you guys, whether it's your focus, whether it's getting you guys out early and getting you moving, which is what we did, just to get them, more focused on, what we needed to do. And Mac, said that she felt like they sat in there too long. And so we needed to get to the locker room quicker. And so we put 4 minutes on the clock, and we abided by that. And then we had about 4.5 minutes to talk to them. And then we got them out enough time to get some shots up, get them moving, get in some free throws. I don't know if that worked, but, that's something that we were at least aware of. Like, we needed to change something. And so, we'll stick with it for the, as we move on. I'll talk to them about how they felt about it. But again, this is a team that's mature, and anytime that you can collaborate, it's all, like I always tell them, we're all on the same team. Let's try to figure out how we can, help each other. And so, yeah, they have a lot to say, and I'm okay with it because I trust them enough to know that, look, this is a group that works extremely hard. They're not trying to dodge or get out of anything. It's all about trying to come up with solutions to help us be successful.
And then Henna's three-pointer, you didn't use your bench a lot, and she hadn't made one since the season opener.
Yeah.
Is that a moment you could point to all the bench players, like, this is what we need? Whenever you're kind of called on?
Yeah, I think it would have been, might have felt a little bit different if it just splashed in versus banked in, but it doesn't matter, right? It counts as a three no matter what it looks like and how it comes, whether it's off the glass or if it's a splash. And so, yeah, the time was running down, and, she's another kid that doesn't not get much playing time right now, Bo and Jules, but I'm going to tell you, they come in every single day. they get shots up with their guard coaches. They've continued to work much like Chloe Moore McNeil, did. And you just hope that they see what Chloe has become in our program, and they'll continue to do their work. And it's times, moments like that where, you see a kid like that hit a big shot and you feel really good about it because she sits over there quite a bit and is such a great teammate,
Teri, when we in the media speak about, in cliches like gut check, or even coaches speak in cliches like gut check, in basketball, that usually means stops. That usually means rebounds, physical things. Very rarely do you have a gut check where you literally have to just outscore a team like you did
Right.
tonight. You scored at 1.5 points per possession. What does it say about the fortitude of your team, that their poise to go out there possession after possession and keep scoring? Because obviously that's very difficult to do.
Well, it says a lot, and I think it speaks to their, I keep saying it, their maturity. I think it speaks to how connected they are, how much they rely on one another, both offensively and defensively. It speaks to, I think they're a smart team. I think they understand where the ball needs to go. But I also, it speaks to the confidence that they have in themselves, for Yarden to come, stuck 2 big shots for us, right? Mac just being around the rim, being able to score the ball the way she did. Sarah, the passing the ball in, relocating, knocking down that shot down the stretch. I mean, you could probably point to a lot of those moments where it's like that was a big shot, right? But you have to have the kids that are super uber confident that they can knock those shots down, because in a moment like that where it is a gut check time, Todd, you got to have some kahunas, right? You got to be able to step up and say, I'm going to hit this shot for my team tonight. And I thought there were a lot of moments big shots where they had some big kahunas, so which was kind of good. That was kind of fun to watch.
Teri, against Ohio State, you had to be pretty unhappy with the total turnovers. That was so unlike what you expect and what the team does. And then today, you were much happier about that. What did you emphasize to the team in these few days in between? And it looked like, from the way Michigan State started, that they watched the tape. They came out.
They press everybody, Lou. It's not just Indiana. And look, we can go back and we can talk about the press attack from Ohio State. I think everybody still is, thinks back to the tournament last year and, us losing our lead, and it had a lot to do with the press. But, the way we lost the Ohio State game had somewhat to do with the press. But look, I mean, we had several moving screens. We had travels. We had, a couple possessions where we just threw it out of bounds in the half court. And then we weren't very good defensively. We just weren't. And so when you look back at the film, you go, well, yeah, but was the press that bad? No, we were bad in the half court. We were bad defensively. We gave Rebecca way too many open looks. I mean, we gave Cody too many open, at the rim. And so we had some miscues defensively as well. Not a game. Not a great game to go in and be bad on both sides, but I still do think that we are so much better than that, and I don't know if we'll get another shot at playing them. If we do, I think that we will look much different. But experience can teach you, and that's what you get when you fail. You get experience, and so the experience that we got at Ohio State helped us tonight against Michigan State with the way we handled ourselves during the press, with the press. We only had 10 turnovers tonight. And so, that's a real positive thing.
You haven't been in a ton of close games the last couple of years. Well, you always want to win big. In some ways, is it good to have a closer game like this for postseason? Because like last year, you had a lot of blowouts, and all of a sudden you had those 3 close games, in the postseason, and you ended up losing, which may not be the reason why. But to have a postseason atmosphere like this, and play a second round type team, that's similar to that. Can that really help you if you are in a similar situation, down the road in postseason?
Oh, I think there's no doubt. I think there's no doubt, Ari, that, the game tonight, when we look back, and there's more ahead. There's more ahead of these types of games. For us, to finish out Big Ten play, we got to go on the road, although not now, but next week. We're going to continue to get everybody's best, and there's going to be a lot of games where it's going to come down to what Todd's talking to, a lot of gut check moments, and we got to continue to keep showing the maturity, keep sharing the ball, keep understanding where the ball needs to go, and then keep shooting it and taking those big shots with a ton of confidence. And so, yeah, it's nights like tonight that are fun for all of us, right? Because it was a great game. We came out on top. But I do think it will serve us well.